What's up, nerds? Welcome to Speed Gaming 2 and this Link to the Past randomizer main tournament group stage match between Dr. Earworm and Illus. My name is Tyler Salt. I am joined in the booth by Goron1988. Goron, how are you?
I'm very good. Pleasure to commentate alongside you, Tyler Salt. And yes, this is open hard. So that means it's open. You don't have to do the start of the game. And hard mode means that you can max out on 13 hearts, tempered sword, regular mail, and only one bottle, I believe. So again, we'll be able to see just the optimization of both our runners in this mode.
Yep. Got a good one for you here. Dr. Earworm, I will note, played this mode yesterday. This was a mode that was half as likely to come up to be drawn by these two runners than any of the other modes, and they drew it anyway. Randomness is good. But a really, really tough loss, which was by 2 seconds to the number 1 seed in this group, Tignaldo, and coming right back over with the number 2 seed in the group, Illus, who is absolutely maybe a little under seeded compared to to his true talent level. But we should have a good race for you here today, chat, as we start out with diversions immediately.
But yeah, so Dr. Earworm starting in Link's house and Illus starting in Sanctuary. We did see a map check there. Did we see what they were?
Looked like we had 3 crystals, I believe, with Eastern Pendant or Eastern Palace, good lord, being a red crystal.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah.
The other thing about this particular version of the hard item pool is that a lot of the full heart containers have been replaced by heart pieces, and so there are a full 48 pieces of heart in this mode, which makes it does some interesting things to the difficulty curve of this mode, because you start out, your health grows more slowly than in a normal item pool mode, but it gets refilled more often because there are more pieces of heart in the pool. So we'll see if that comes into play. You get a couple more fortuitous fortuitous refills in dungeons, perhaps. So.
Well, it seems like Illus is going down to Kakariko Village here. This is where Blind's Hut is, as well as Kakariko Wells, so tons of checks here. We'll be able to see what our runners can get here. And the first chest is a shield, a piece of heart, a piece of heart, and a red boomerang.
The OK boomerang, let's go.
Yeah, definitely good. And that's 50 rupees. That'll be good for the bottle vendor soon.
Full disclosure, by the way, to all of you, Dr. Earworm is my good friend and league teammate. So I am, full disclosure, I'm rooting for Doc here. But I will do my best to stay even-handed at the very least.
Yes, well, what I always want is a close race in these things, because it's always interesting to see where one optimization, might help, or one decision might help, and then that may come into play later on in the game. So always interesting. And just a 20% return from Bottle Vendor.
Bottle Vendor's a jerk, man.
Well, until Bottle Vendor isn't a jerk, really.
Oh, yeah, I mean, sword and Kakariko.
But, yeah. So, So
I know Doc is probably hoping for a hammer here. He's got that powder early from Uncle, or from the Uncle checks at least. Oh,
yeah.
fighter sword. We got a cape. Aga 1, anybody?
Ooh. I'd like to say no thank you on that one.
I like agate. I'll be the guy who says I like agate seeds.
Ooh,
That was a medallion.
It was Ether. Ether was on library. But yeah.
I like agate seeds because I hate walking to Pyramid Ledge. So, you know, with an agate seed, you don't need to do it. It's right there. Pops you out right there. It's good.
Illus getting the 300 rupees from Link's house. So that might help in future, and is just going to check Lake Hylia Island, and that is Quake.
2 visible medallions. Here we go.
Just out of arm's reach.
Illus is for going to South Shore. Going to be taking some bombs. Need to buy some bombs here. Had 0 coming out of the village. So it makes sense to buy some over here on the way over to Saha and get this check out of the way quick. This is on Saha is a check that I have a tendency to put off way too long. So I know that Doc and I have talked about this, and Doc has that same tendency, and so usually makes a special effort to route Saha in pretty early, just because otherwise he's gonna miss it. And there's a bottle.
Yep, and I believe that's the only bottle of the seed.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, so it's possible that Dr. Earworm finds another bottle, perhaps a mini Moldorm cave. But once you get the first bottle, the remaining bottles are replaced with rupees.
Yep, green 20s, so you'll see those pop out.
Yep. So what is in the dam? Dr. Earworm going in first, just a piece of heart in the dam itself. And what do we get from draining the dam?
Just 20 bucks. So Doc is going to pick that up and maybe head left. Yes.
Ooh, some divergence here.
I like this. I like this from Doc. Agahnim is one of those checks that a lot of players are going to leave late, just because it feels out of the way. And so if you're going to pick up those 20 rupees, which, you know, maybe tending towards a Zora play in the future, got to get those rupees what you can. Swing this over to Agahnim. Doc, I probably feels like he is a pretty sizable underdog in this race against Illus, and so got to take some of these swings when you can find them.
Yeah, Illus getting the Master Sword, 20 rupees, a piece of heart, and the Moon Pearl.
Where's that lamp? This seed reeks of Aga 1. Reeks of Aga 1.
Well, Illus is going to be checking Ice Rod Cave soon, and that is a check. It has a possibility of being the Ice Rod, so we'll see there.
Doc out on his heels as well.
Now, I did notice that I may have said the start of Open Hard wrong, so if I did, my apologies. So, could we say again what the mode Open Hard is, what our runners have?
Yeah, so in this version of Open Hard, I'm going to pull up the list so I don't screw this up. Try not to do it from memory, so we'll be back with that in just a moment. But it is a hard mode, so you are capped at 3 swords. You're capped at 1 shield. You're capped at green mail, so there are no mail upgrades in the pool, or at least they're replaced with green 20s. There are 4 swords in the pool. There are 3 shields in the pool, but you can only collect the first shield and the the third sword. Any remaining ones will turn into big 20s. I believe there is no half magic in the pool. This is the one that I always forget. And then one capped at 1 bottle, though there are 4 in the pool, and we're capped at, I believe, it's either 13 or 14 hearts. And there are only 4 full heart containers in the pool. Is the big thing. 3 boss heart containers and sank heart. And so you'll see there are, instead of the regular, I think it's 24 heart pieces, they're double that. There are 48 heart pieces in the pool.
Yeah. So.
And no silvers.
There's no.
Or is it? This version has non-progressive bows. So the silvers are there, but they are a separate item.
Yeah, that's what I thought with regards to silvers. Illus is now going to Hyrule Castle basement, possibly Dark Cross as well, which is back of escape. So we'll be able to see whether there's anything here. I'm thinking a lamp.
Yeah, Illus is hoping that there's a lamp here so he can just Death Warp and do Aga 1 at the moment. Thank you, Cody.
Yes, thank you ever so much, Cody. Ooh, a hammer.
There's a hammer in the first chest of escape. I think more interesting here is Doc going to dip into Eastern Palace.
I mean, that is 3 possible items, so it could be worth it. It kind of depends.
Yeah, I mean, it is 3 possible items, but you could get as few as 1. If the big key is vanilla, and there are 2. Oh, and the flute in the boomerang chest. Oh boy. All right, Doc is out and is going to be headed to escape. So this is good news for him.
So the flute itself will be able to give us Death Mountain access, which is Spec Rock Cave, as well as out of logic, you can get the old man check. So those are possibilities. Also, I mean, maybe no, I don't even think on these hearts you could do Spike Cave even out of, well, they do have cape.
Yeah, they'd have to take a trip. I don't know that you can do it with 6 hearts and cape. Well, you've got a bottle, so if you fluted over and got a green one, and that flute isn't even in logic because we don't have the Hyrule Castle small key yet.
Yeah, true. So,
and Spike Case requires a glove. So.
Oh yeah, wait a second. Let me think. Spike Cave shouldn't require a glove.
Yeah, there's a big rock at the end.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, there is a big rock at the end.
Wow. Easy to forget that until you've gone all the way through it without a glove and get to the end and are like, oh crap, and save and quit.
Well, Illus is activating his flute now, so fast travel is unlocked. And here is the sick kid turn in the fire rod.
Hello.
Just trying to think, where have our runners not gone to yet? Well, Illus is going to. Yeah. So there's magic back here.
We've got Eastern, and we've got let's see. Illus didn't go to Dark Cross. He just save and quit out of Zelda Cell. Looks like Doc, on the other hand, is has set up a Death Warp, and so he is going to go to Dark Cross here. And with that Fire Rod available, we know that Dark Cross is in logic. So.
Yeah. So if Dark Cross is in logic, then our runners can also get to back of escape.
If the key is there.
Oh yeah, true. If the key is there. If the key is at Dark Cross, then yes. If the key isn't at Dark Cross, then it's gloves locked. So
Illus is going to pick up a potion here, fill up his magic bar. Or be available to fill up his magic bar at least.
I mean, both our runners know they're not going to get half magic, so that magic potion might be useful towards the end of the game as well.
Dueling dark rooms here. Dr. Earworm headed to Dark Cross. Illus headed to rescue the old man.
Yep. Yeah, Illus is using his... Well, they're both using their sword in order to guide where their position is in order to determine which way to go.
Just a piece of heart. So we've got the... Back of Escape's only going to have one item in it. It has both the map and the compass. Or, excuse me, both the map and the small key to Hyrule Castle. So...
Yeah.
Nice mushroom.
That's a mushroom... I mean...
It's out of logic.
It's out of logic, but I think there'll be another trip to the potion shop for Illus here.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, I say it's out of logic, which it is, but we don't care. So.
And that looks as though it's just a piece of heart in Spec Rock Cave.
Here's the mushroom. Eastern Palace, it looks like is going to have our next piece of progression here. Could be a glove, could be the lamp.
Yeah.
Could be a hook shot.
Yep, Hookshot giving us access to Paradox Cave and Tower of Hera. So.
Illus is going to check Agahnim before going over into Eastern Palace. Just 3 bombs over on Desert Ledge. It could be Book, could be Flips. Lots of things. But yeah, I expect it's the lamp over there. Just like the game, this game loves to give you both the Master Sword and the cape in Agaseeds for some reason, even though you really only need one of those for Aga to be in logic. But yeah, I will be. But you know, could very easily be the glove, could be the mirror to get up to Tower of Hera. So looks like Eastern Palace is going to be our answer here, and Illus is going to be our first runner over in there.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. So we'll see. I mean, if it's a bow, this will be brilliant for both our runners, realistically. But I have a feeling it's a lamp as well.
And Guy McGuy pointing out is a good point, which the flute is out of logic. The flute was in the Boomerang Chest of Hyrule Castle, which is out of logic if we don't have the Hyrule Castle small key. So if the hook shot is over here, that means that Aga is logically required.
Okay.
If we get the hook shot and no flute. The hook shot and no glove, rather. Excuse me. Because glove would also put the flute in logic by giving us access to the Hyrule Castle small key.
So first chest is a compass on Illus's side. Illus dodging all those cannonballs in the start of Eastern Palace.
Shoutouts to Illus for quick swapping along to the beat of the music. I appreciate that.
Always nice to hear. So we've got the big key for Eastern Palace in the second chest on Illus's side. And Illus is just continuing along Eastern Palace. Gets the lamp.
There's the lamp.
Oh.
Now, not necessarily, right? So the lamp puts the vanilla big key chest in logic as well.
Yes, true.
Doc, on the other hand, just going to do Aga with that fire rod. This is exactly the sort of play that Doc's got to make if he wants to take a big swing at winning this race. So I love this play for Doc.
Yes, definitely going to save Doc sometime here, because the next time, if Doc can get the bow before going into Eastern Palace, then, you know, Doc's saving a ton of time here.
Yeah, you just got to hope that that lamp is the only thing over here. And that he can manage this with Fire Rod, which I know that he can, but it is tricky sometimes. All right, moment of truth for Illus here.
And the big key chest has 3 bombs.
All right, so it is, in fact, an Aga Seed.
Yep.
There we go. Okay, Doc's got the first room here.
So, well, that's 1 out of quite a few rooms in Castle Tower here.
There are really only the 2 dark rooms that are a problem. The kind of side dark rooms are can be tricky, but the side dark room with the next one that's coming up here has torches in it, or I think is also lit up by the torches in the dark pit room, and so you can usually get the there we go. So Doc is through the tough part of Dark Aga. So well done.
Yep, very well. Well done for Dr. Earworm. Now, since Dr. Earworm is climbing up Castle Tower, we do normally do a guessing game on this, which is how many blue balls will our runners get from Aga. So I believe the options are 0 to 15.
0 to 15 is correct.
Yep.
I say 0. That's my guess.
I will go for 15 then.
All right, we'll see if it's under 7, I win, and if it's over 7, you win.
Yes, exactly. I mean,
Right.
If you're gonna go so low, I'm gonna go so high on this one. And well, did Illus just checking chat? Did Illus check Dark Cross?
Yeah,
and then reset?
when he died just now, that was an intentional death at Dark Cross to death warp out to the front of the castle to get to Aga.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I would have been assuming. So that's fine. And now, well, let's see what happens with respect to Aga 1. It's not going to be 15.
Hooray!
It might be 0. It might still be 0. Oh, it's 1. So that's the first cycle of Aga 1. Dr. Earworm has 4 hits on Aga 1 so far. 6 hits needed. So that's 2 for the blue balls from Aga. And then that's 5 hits that Dr. Earworm has, well. And that is Aga 1 down. So I believe the answer was 2. And I forgot how the rules of choosing the winner was.
First to guess 2. So I run 2. Good job. You win.
Ah, yes.
You win 301 internet points, which is how many rupees the Dr. Earworm has.
That's what's the word? Yeah.
I don't know what you're going for. Yeah, can't rescue on that one. I don't know what the word is.
Yeah, I forgot what word it was. I was thinking like suspicious, but then I was trying to think of a word that was suspicious but not ominous.
We've got Green Pendant, TR, Pendant Thieves, Pendant Ice, with Swamp Palace being our additional 5/6 crystal.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, Ice Palace and TR needing slightly more requirements, this might be a fast seed. We'll just have to see.
Here's Johnny Two Bombs on Dr. Earworm's side. Doc avoided the immediate pod play. There's our first glove. So we have regular Dark World access now. And the bow.
Hype Cave is back.
Imagine.
The
Johnny
glove
Two Bombs,
and the bow.
Johnny Two Bombs coming through with us today.
Hype Cave is back.
So this is going to be really interesting to see what Illus does. If Illus goes into pod here, he will be missing out on the bow.
Yeah.
So
the thing is that bow confirms, although it was pretty much confirmed at the end of Eastern Palace, that effectively Dr. Earworm has a slight lead here,
yes.
given the fact that Dr. Earworm didn't do Eastern Palace without the bow, and when Dr. Earworm goes back to Eastern Palace, will be doing it with the bow.
Yep, he'll be able to single dip Eastern Palace, and maybe even and potentially even single dip pod. Or he'll be able to single dip pod. Dissimulate in chat saying Illus hates pod. Doubtful that he'll dip before going to Hype Cave. So we'll see.
So Dr. Earworm is now going to dig game. So well, we'll see. What does dig game give us today? How many digs will Dr. Earworm have to dig up? Will it be the entire lawn?
Yeah, Illus is going to Hype Cave. Oh, whoop. No. almost faked me out there, but he is also not going to pod. He's going to Hype Cave. So he will be able to single dip pod eventually.
Yeah, 23 digs, and it was a piece of art.
Doc is not going to head over to Eastern and Pod right away. Probably hoping for a mirror. Is going to knock out this one item in the back of Escape real quick.
I mean, after this, where would Dr. Earworm be going? I mean, there's so many options available right now.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a full clearable crystal Skullwoods, for instance. Ooh, Tempered Sword is our last item in there. And nice. Doc remembers that it's the only item in there and gets out. All right, we fluting. Where are we fluting? So that's it for swords for Doc. And we are headed over to the Village of Outcast area.
Yeah.
See if Skullwoods has the goods today.
It is red 5-6 crystals, so yeah. I mean,
yeah, we're definitely full clearing Skull right here.
Definitely.
But presumably Doc hoping for mirror before heading over to Pod and Eastern. But yeah, I think that meme is a little overrated. To wait for the mirror to do though. I think it, if you've got the flute especially, it is not that much slower to just do Eastern and then flute away and do Pod. So I probably would also go over there, but Skull is Skull's also a full clearable crystal. You got that fire rod.
So Dr. Earworm is going to be going to the back of Skullwoods. Probably going to check this big key chest first. We'll see see
where Illus is going. Illus, on the other hand, is headed back to Pod. Maybe hoping for the mirror here.
Yep, 5 items in Pod.
Oh, Nustria is right, actually. This is just a regular crystal here at Skullwoods. The other 5-6 crystal is in Swamp. I remember that.
Okay. So... yeah.
And thank you to our tracker Solid today. No worries.
Yep.
I mix those two up all the dang time.
I just want to say to every tracker, and especially to Solid, I couldn't do it without you. We need our trackers. So thank you ever so much. So Dr. Earworm getting a small key out of that, out of the Skullwood's big key chest, is just going to go to the back now and face off against Mothula, and we'll see if Mothula is an item. I meant Mothula has an item.
Yes.
Which does make me think how many rupees you get out of the bottle vendor if Mothula was in the bottle. So, Dr. Earworm giving tempered sword swings to Mothula right now. The spikes going all over as they normally do. I believe I see a few hits here. Yep. And
yeah,
that
we're good
is
here. Pretty quick.
Mothula down, giving the big key. So, Illus is doing right side pod at the moment. I didn't see what that first chest was. So just double checking, what was that?
Which chest? The first one in pod. It was the big key.
Okay, so that was the big key. And it's just, well, keys at the moment then.
All right, there's one item out of Skullwoods. It is a mirror heart.
Yeah, one more for Dr. Earworm. There was something that was just, I was thinking at the back of my head. Both our runners have the cape.
Yep.
What about Bumper Ledge?
What about Bumper Ledge? We're probably going to see it here after Doc is done with Skullwoods.
Yeah. I just have a feeling that there might be something on Bumper Ledge. So, I'm intrigued to see what's actually there. So, Illus is just going to the back of Eastern Palace now to defeat Helmasaur.
Back of pod. Yeah, got two small keys and the big key out of the front and the first chest and the bow locked side. And so without the mirror going straight to Helmasaur, love this play. It's a free mirror back to the front, and then you can figure out how to probably just save and quit out of the back.
And Dr. Earworm is now going out of Skullwoods. I don't believe there was anything necessarily in Skullwoods, so... Ooh, Bumper Ledge just having a piece of heart here. Now, will this be a Village of Outcasts play? I mean, we've got chess game, sea house, we have the brewery. And, well, Helmasaur is down on Illus's side. Helmasaur giving a full heart container.
Vanilla.
Yep, vanilla. And that is Illus's first crystal. Nothing in C-shaped house at the moment. So yeah, chess game, 100 rupees and 20 rupees. So nothing in chess game here. Now, if you were Dr. Earworm, would you be going into Thieves Town? There are 4 possible items there and 4 checks at the front. Even though it is a pendant, it's possible there could be something there.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough call. I'm probably going in.
Yeah. It seems as though Dr. Earworm is going to be going into Thieves Town. Illus is still finding keys in Palace of Darkness. And the first chest was just a map in Thieves Town. So the first item I can see on Palace of Darkness is just 5 rupees. Well, second, because the first was that full heart container.
Ooh. French vanilla mitts for Dr. Earworm in Pendant Fuse Town.
That is definitely a good find for Dr. Earworm there. Gives, well, it just gives a ton more options, really. Yeah.
And that's only going to be one item in the front of Thieves Town here, because this has got to be the big key.
Yep.
And Doc is done.
So that's those mitts. I mean, they give Misery Maya if, well, nobody's got a medallion yet. But they do give the Misery Maya shed that Dr. Earworm is going to now. I'm trying to think out of logic. Ice Palace can be a play here. We can't get up the mountain yet because we either need the mirror or the hook shot in order to go up the mountain. So there's nothing for Dark Death Mountain.
So we saw the Ether Medallion. It's on the library. We saw the Quake Medallion. It's on the Lake Hylia Island. So, of course, we need Bombos for Misery Meyer. Nice book there.
Yep, that gives Desert Palace access.
And Pod is empty. Nothing in that dungeon whatsoever.
A little bit surprising given the fact that there's so many checks in Pod. Talking about Pod, it seems as though Dr. Earworm is going to be going into Pod now.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So with Eastern Palace, did we see all 3 items? I don't believe we did, so... I'm just trying to remember if there was an item on Almost Nights.
I believe that there is. Yes.
Yeah, I believe so too. Illus is now going into Eastern Palace, so we will see if this gives an item that could be useful here. Yeah. So going back to medallions, Ether is locked behind Boots and Quake is locked behind Mirror. If I remember correctly on that. Yeah. So Illus is now going through Eastern Palace a second time. Doesn't need to do as much, so this will be slightly quicker for him. Traveling up those stairs, seeing the anti-fairies, clicking the switch, clicking another switch at the bottom of that Eastern Palace room, dodging the cannonballs. And defeating the Stalfos in that red Igor. Using a sword swing to defeat some enemies there, and shooting towards the red Igor. And the battle against the Almost Knights commences. Illus shooting 5 towards, well, the right, the rest towards the south, and it's just a piece of heart on the Almost Knights. Illus now getting his second crystal. Eastern Palace is a 5/6 crystal, so... Well, we need a lot for Swamp Palace, which would be the second red crystal, but... We'll see if the red crystals come into play.
We shall see indeed. We'll see where Illus is headed next. Presumably over to VOO. Yep.
Yep. It does...
I don't think there's any way that Illus skips Thieves Town here. I think that the bigger question is going to be, does he go into the back?
Yeah, because if there's something at the back, this could harm Dr. Earworm's run quite substantially. So this is something that Dr. Earworm has to hope. Well, hope that there's nothing substantial at the back.
Yeah. And it's tough because there are 3 items back there, right? So, I would think it would be extremely defensible. Yes, of course, Illus is going to full clear Skullwoods first, right? But I think the more interesting thing here is going to be, how much of Thieves Town he does. 3 items is a big pull to the back. It's going to be difficult to avoid that. Doc absolutely, avoided the siren song there, but Illus probably going to lean on his. I would say Illus very well might lean on his execution advantage here, and go ahead and be a little bit more thorough.
So, yep, that's Helmasaur down for Dr. Earworm, and that's Dr. Earworm's second crystal here. So, I'm just trying to look at this. Our runners are on the same amount of crystals at the moment. I think Alice has done slightly more checks than Dr. Earworm at the moment, but I'm not certain on that.
I'd say it's pretty close. I don't think there are no checks that either of them. The only check that one of them has done that the other isn't just online for is Back of Escape, where Doc got that tempered sword.
Yeah. And there is a huge difference between tempered sword and the master sword, so this can really help Dr. Earworm. Especially
depending on where that 4th sword is.
Yeah, exactly. Well, given the item density is getting less and less as the seed goes on, it could be in GT.
It could easily be in GT. Yeah, I don't think necessarily that. I mean, tempered sword saves time. I think mainly on the Ganon fight, but on Moth it can save a little time. Although Hammer is very doable for a runner of Illus's caliber for sure. But yeah, early temper definitely can build up some time. It saves a bunch of time on Trinex. It saves a bunch of time on Vidi if you don't have silver arrows. We're talking seconds here or there. Save some time on Cold Stare over Master Sword. So it definitely helps. But it's not a huge. The main benefit of it is going to be on the Ganon fight. Illus with a bit of a brute force Moth fight there, but takes him down with not much issue.
And that is Illus's 3rd crystal, having defeated Mothula. Yeah, so Illus is probably going to be looking through the whole of Skullwoods now, and Dr. Earworm is looking through the rest of Pod. We know that there's nothing in either of those locations, but when our runners are done with both locations, that's when we'll see if we'll be able to see some new items soon. Given all of this, now's the time to say that both our runners, they're brilliant at what they do. They're brilliant people. Go and give them a follow, It's just a pleasure to be watching them here on Restream.
Doc saves a little time getting that last item out of the big chest directly with a hammer yump, so it doesn't need to go through. And let's see what Doc is up to next. I would imagine it is Eastern Palace.
Yeah, Dr.
Yes.
Airworm will be getting that lamp from Eastern Palace, so again, it's quality of life. It's nothing major. The lamp is built into progression, but runners of this caliber, they know how to do dark rooms, and we've seen that for both our runners, here today.
That said, never turning down a free lamp.
Exactly. Oh yeah, with those mitts, there's hammer pegs and smith chain. I don't believe we've seen hammer pegs on Dr. Earworm's side.
We did not see hammer pegs, no. We could have. He had, got the mitts out of there, but decided to save and quit out of Thieves Town to go over towards Pod, which I think was very reasonable.
Yeah. I guess we'll see if Illus does decide to do hammer pegs after getting the mitts.
I would imagine so, because Illus has fewer other things to do at this point. It's like those mitts open up a good set of stuff here, but it makes sense that the next progression could be on Smith Chain. We've seen a lot of what else this game has to offer to us at the moment, so in Smith Chain or potentially in the back of Thieves Town. They both have Zora as well. King Zora is in Logic, but neither of the other checks up there are without the flippers.
Yeah. But yeah, just thinking with the items though, our runners can fake flipper with the Moon Pearl to all of these locations, even if they're out of Logic and
of course,
the flippers, right?
Yeah. I think I agree with chat here that Illus is going to do the back. He has so much less available to him at the moment than Doc did when he came here. So, but I've been wrong before.
Ooh, Illus is continuing.
Well, I mean, he could be working over here for a death warp, but looks like no, he is headed to the back.
Yeah. 3 items.
Yeah, and I think you have to do this. Illus is absolutely this is the right call in Illus's situation. I was okay with it from Doc's point of view because he was here earlier and still had all of a full clearable pod in Eastern to do. But with Illus's routing, there's no reason for him not to do this. There's what's left? Mirrorless Smith Chain? No, and Spike Gate. That's it. So
there is Desert Palace, to clarify.
Well, Illus doesn't have the book yet.
Oh yeah, signed the book. Double checking.
The book was in Myershed. So
yeah, true. Yeah. So yeah, Illus could check Myershed then for the book, get the book, and then decide to do Eastern Palace, Desert Palace.
Desert Palace, yeah. Desert Palace, which isn't necessarily even clearable, right? It could be boots locked. So you could go to Desert Palace and get one check. So.
So there's a piece of heart in the, I believe it's the bombable chest.
The attic chest here, yeah.
Yeah, the attic chest.
So 2 items left in Thieves Town. We're going to see where Dr. Earworm heads next, which honestly could be right back to Thieves Town.
Yeah. There aren't many options here.
I think he won't do that. I think it would be pretty weird to do that. You have to kind of... Yeah, I mean, it's just you got to stick to your call here.
I'm just thinking there could be vanilla flippers at this point.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, there's our 3rd item out of Thieves Town.
Yep, just a piece of heart.
Doc is going to take that book over here to Desert Palace. Is our last Thieves Town item here No, it's not. Last one is on blind.
Yep. So, well, we'll
Illus,
be...
Illus needs to pull something off this. I mean, he doesn't need to, right? But this would be a pretty big setback for Illus if there's nothing on blind.
Yes, this definitely would be, unless Dr. Earworm completes Thieves' Town as well, but if there's something in this chest, it's just a big key.
All right. Well, no, that's good, though. That's good, right?
I mean, that allows the... Yes, yeah, that does allow
and there's
the
a hook shot on the Desert Torch.
Oh!
That's good knowledge for Doc.
That's...
Maybe the boots will just be... Oh, this is going to be the small key, of course. Yeah, maybe the boots are just in here. Oh, no, there they are. Shit. Well,
wrong
bad.
side.
It's bad for Doc.
That's very bad for Doc. Very, very, very bad for Doc. And
that's unfortunate.
Fearless. There was progression in the back of Thieves' Town. And, yeah.
But that's true. Doc might be sent right back over there.
Boots also locking Ether.
That is correct. So, like, you know, he's going to be... There's not much left. So Doc could be funneled into the back of Thieves' Town, and he'll feel bad for that. Ooh, there's a Kin Samaria on hammer pegs. So, just go there.
Yeah. I mean... That's just how these seeds can be. I mean, there are just tons of options available a lot of the time, and it's just choosing, you know, what has the greatest possibility of actually having an item. And in this specific seed, Thieves' Town gave the boots. And Illus is going... Well, yep, for hammer pegs, bonk rocks first, and then going to be doing the smith chain. Dr. Earworm is defeating Lammo, gets the map. I believe that means there's one more item in Desert Palace.
There's gonna be one item on the right side.
And Illus has gone past Back of Escape. Going into King's Tomb now. There's the flippers.
Ooh, so those boots are really important.
Yeah, those boots were really, really important. They locked 3 items. 3 items! I don't think... The only other way was that Bonkrocks would have had an item, and then everything locked behind boots would have been important. Apart from, there is that GT torch as well. Just trying to think. 4 items.
Well, 3 that we know of.
Yeah,
Here's the book for Illus. Boots didn't lock Samaria.
Yeah, Boots didn't lock Samaria.
So what do we still need? We need Bombos and Mirror. That's it. Or obviously we need to get the hook shot, but Illus is going to get that before too long.
Yep, and the hook shot giving, wow, Death Mountain access at this point.
All right, Doc is back in the village area, so we're going to see, hopefully, for his sake, he goes into Village of Outcasts, or he goes into Thieves' Town, rather, before doing Smith Chain stuff. But yeah, Illus in the driver's seat here with those boots. Which
Definitely.
don't like save you that much time, and Doc is making the right call here, and is gonna finish up Thieves Town here.
So yeah, I mean, Illus still has to finish up Desert Palace to be on the same crystal count as Dr. Earworm. Dr. Earworm is going to be doing Thieves Town in the meantime, but Dr. Earworm, once getting those boots, will have to flute away back to Desert Palace to get that hook shot.
Yeah,
So.
and unfortunately, as it so often does, Pendant Thieves Town is just a graveyard for runs. You know, like the whether you go to the back or not is just such a tough decision most of the time, and it really hurts when you make it incorrectly, unfortunately. And that the key decision here being, I think Goomba was talking about this before, right, in chat. The key decision here being Illus going to Pot and Eastern first before the VOO area when both were full clearable. I think made it a much easier decision for Illus to go to the back and clear Thieves Town when he was presented with that choice. So it is often about just the order where you go things, and yeah, Doc made a reasonable call in the position he was in, in the position he put himself in, but unfortunately did not work out.
Yeah. It can just be how randos go sometimes. I do wonder, even though it's not required... Well, we only need Mirror left, so... Even though Ether is...
And Bombos.
Oh, yeah. And Bombos, yeah. Mirror and Bombos.
So we might not even need either of those visible medallions that we saw. Since TR is a pendant.
I'm just trying to think how plausible is picking up Ether at this stage, because there's a slim chance that Ether is needed, but
I mean, if you're back in the light worlds, if you're back in the light world, I think Illus is gonna go grab it right now. Yeah, if you're back here in the village in the light world, you might as well grab it.
I mean, it could unlock Turtle Rock. So that's the only thing that was on my mind with regards to...
Oh, for sure, yeah. And I guess you don't want to go up the mountain knowing where Ether is and not having it. So, now I'm sure that is where Illus is heading next.
Yep. I mean, there's so many items up here on the mountain. There's the Tower of Hera as well. We've got Paradox Cave, we have Spiral Cave, we have Hookshot Cave, we have Tower of Hera, we have Super Bunny Cave, we have Ether Tablets.
Spike Cave.
Well, yeah, Spike Cave as well.
This is a nearly full clearable. If Turtle Rock is Ether, then Illus can do everything up here except for Trinex and Mimic Cave.
Yeah. So, Dr. Earworm has defeated Blind and is now going to get that... already got the boots, so... We'll see where Dr. Earworm goes. Now probably is going to be back to Desert Palace.
He's going to go pick up the Smith and do hammer pegs first, which is good, because he's going to need that Cane of Samaria.
Yep, from Misery Ma. And I didn't see much in the upper room of, Paradox Cave. Only money and arrows, I think.
Nope, nothing much over there. Again, we are Bombos and Mirror from Go here.
Yeah, so...
I would expect Doc to start taking some big swings here. After picking up his hook shot, I could see... Oh, and he didn't do hammer pegs. Oh no, he just did the Smith. Maybe he's committing to the full mirrorless. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. Illus is checking Ether Tablet right now, and it is just a piece of heart.
Doc is going to pick up the Ether Medallion here.
And Illus is going into Tower of Hera, which is a crystal.
Doc gonna go get his hook shot. Unfortunately, just did the Smiths and did not continue on to Hammer Pegs and Purple Chest. So gonna be minus that cane for a little while longer.
So, Illus has, well, done a Hera part and is going to be checking the chest here, and it is the Ice Rod.
Nice rod.
So, yes, it is a nice rod. The Ice Rod. So now Illus is facing off against Moldorm. And I believe we haven't seen another item in Tower of Hera.
I believe that's true.
So it's
no small key yet either.
I thought Illus opened Hera Basement. That's 10 arrows, so that's two items.
That's both items.
Yep.
So we're done here. And Doc headed up the mountain. Makes a lot of sense. There's a lot up here. You know, unfortunately, is following in Illus's footsteps. So not gonna make up much time here. I was thinking about it, and it seems like the thing here for Doc might have been a big swing towards Pendant Ice. Does that make sense?
I mean, Doc doesn't need to find the flippers first, but the flippers will point Doc in that direction. Pendant Ice could have Bombos, it could have Mirror. At this stage, that might be one of the best plays Doc can do.
Allison with a good point here. If Ether is the TR medallion, and that could be a big trap for Illus, because if Ether is the medallion for TR and there's nothing there, then Illus is going to full clear it now. He's got the Ice Rod, he's got the cane. Dr. Earworm, on the other hand, without that cane from Hammer Pegs, nice high five here, by the way.
Yeah, definitely.
Can't do anything in TR. So he would be spared that.
And it continued for a while. Only a piece of heart on, the Death Mountain Island. Illus is going to be checking what medallion is needed for TR, as Dr. Earworm is going to be making his way into...
Oh, and it is Ether. Okay.
Oh.
This is a potential... Doc needed something to swing in his favor, and it just did. So we shall see. This could be this is a pivotal moment for the race.
The Illus leaves Turtle Rock.
Well, you're gonna check. I mean, you're absolutely going to check Super Bunny and Hookshot first.
True.
In no world do you go into Turtle Rock there first before coming over here. Especially without the mirror. That would be ludicrous. So we are gonna do this stuff. He's totally gonna go back and go into Turtle Rock. I'd be very surprised if he didn't, at least.
I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't like there being like a Turtle Rock that's clearable and Illus clears it and there's nothing in there. So I'm hoping something's in Turtle Rock. There, I said it, you know? It's appearing as though there's nothing in Hookshot Cave, just money and health. So, Illus...
in we go.
Yep. Turtle Rock. So,
Doc gets booped immediately.
Moldorm... Well, this has happened to one too many runners. So, okay, Turtle Rock is our green pendant, which means that there's one extra item. Turtle Rock normally has 5 items, green pendant 6 items. And we'll see if Illus gets the mirror here. If so, there's...
I think this is the race. I think if there's something in TR, Illus has got it. And if there's not, then Doc's got a shot at least. You know, that's what you can hope for against a runner like Illus. So...
yeah. Definitely. So, well... on Dr. Earworm's side, that is Dr. Earworm's 5th crystal. We only have Swamp Palace and Misery Mile left.
Look at all those keys in the front of TR. Yeah, I think Doc's next play here is going to be Ice Palace.
I mean, for the sake of this being a race, because Illus is slightly ahead here.
All right.
I would be hoping that Dr. Earworm goes into Ice Palace.
Here is item number 1 in Turtle Rock. It is Le Filet, the bug catching net.
Yep. At the moment, Dr. Earworm is just going to be clearing out Dark Death Mountain. And then we'll see where he goes.
I have to think it's Ice Palace. I mean, you could make an argument maybe for clearing up the rest of Smith Chain real quick, but given that you didn't do it when you were already there, I feel like, you know, Ice is your densest accessible location left.
Yeah, I mean, just thinking. So basically,
item number 2 in TR is a piece of heart.
Yep. So Dr. Earworm doesn't have that Cane of Samaria, so wouldn't necessarily go into TR like Illus is doing so right now. So yeah, it's got to be Ice Palace. It's got to be. I mean, 3 more items in Turtle Rock, and then the green pendant hand in.
Where were the flippers?
The flippers were in King's Tomb.
Oh, okay. So Doc will get those. Yeah.
Yeah. In all fairness, this could be a pet seed, by the way.
Yeah, sure could. Mirror could be on pad. Bombos could be on pad. Yeah.
I just have to let you all know. Hopefully it isn't, but it could, in theory, be a pet seed from the information that we've gathered. Which would be interesting if it was a ped seed and an Agaseed.
The dream. Item number 3 is 3 bombs.
Whoa. And Dr. Earworm is doing Spike Cave. I do not believe that Illus has done this, so...
Illus has not done this. Presumably Illus will do this when he's done with TR.
Yeah. Just a piece of heart.
Just a piece of heart, though. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Dr. Earworm going to Sanctuary right now. I mean, yeah. It's going to be King's Tomb for Dr. Earworm. And seeing the flippers like that, I don't know if he'd be thinking that the seed would be pushing him towards Ice Palace.
Alright, there's our small key. Doc getting his flippers. There's Bombos on Laser Bridge.
Yep.
Hoo boy. That is probably GG here.
And that was 5 items then? Because Illus got 50 rupees and Bombos. I think we talked about 2 more, but I must have missed one.
Yeah.
There's still the mirror.
There's still the mirror.
But saying that, we now know
like,
that...
it puts Doc behind a total additional mountain climb.
Yeah. Because it means that TR is necessary in the seed. So Illus using hammer strats on Trinex and doing very well with it. It's
A green 20 on Pyramid Lash. Or on LJ.
Yep. Trinex with Master Sword is really tough, and our runners just make these things look very, very easy. Yep. It seems
Not
as
doing
though,
a ped check. Mirror on ped could even things up a little bit.
I mean, but TR is
But
a pendant.
Yeah, you're still behind an entire mountain climb in TR full clear.
Yep. Doctor going into the Sacred Meadow, passing by all the bunnies, and it's just Couch Cash. Move right along. So head not
Yeah,
listed.
like Professor Renderer in chat is right. Like, it is not GG until someone crosses the bridge. However, it's going to be really tough for Doc at this point.
Yeah, I think I'd agree on that opinion here. Yeah. Dr. Worm is going to be, well, I mean, they're still under the bridge. There's still Waterfall Fairy. There's still King Zora, and there's still, yeah, Dr. Worm is teleporting, so we'll see these checks now. Whilst Illus is going into Misery Mire.
Oh, there's the mirror.
Ooh, so the mirror is there. So Dr. Worm does have something right now. And we are in no mode. Because we know where...
Yeah, and that puts Doc closer to getting the cane, too. Because it makes doing those checks a little bit... a little bit of a nicer proposition. But now we know Doc is going to head into Pendant Ice probably here and get nothing.
I mean, Swamp Palace is open.
Oh, that's true. He'll do Swamp first, but he'll full clear Swamp, whereas Illus is going to be able to go mode it.
Yes, definitely. Which is going to save Illus some time here. Illus still hasn't found the big key. For Illus in Misery Mire, what's going to be good for him is finding the big key late. So that means that effectively Dr. Worm will find it late as well.
Yeah, because while Illus is going to be able to... Illus is... going to be able to go mode Swamp Palace. Doc would be able to go mode Misery Mire if Misery Mire cooperates.
Yes, indeed. But it doesn't seem as though this is a... Well, it's definitely not a God Mire. And it seems as though Misery Mire Illus will probably have to do a ton of this here. So that looks pretty good for Illus. And it looks as though Dr. Worm is now going to be doing Bombo's Tablet, and there's the big key.
Alright, so kind of a medium mire.
Yep.
An agnostic mire, if you will.
Ooh, silver
arrows.
Bombos.
That's nice. Not gonna be the difference here. But feels good.
Yeah.
It'll save time. Saves time on Vidi, at least. It's not going to save enough time, but it saves time.
So just thinking. Basically, both our runners here, they're both two crystals away, and they're both missing one item. I mean, yeah. Well, sorry, Doc is missing two.
Doc's missing 2, missing the cane and hammer pegs as well, and that mirror is way easier to find than that Bombos medallion on Laser Bridge. So.
But yeah, for Dr. Earworm, basically Illus has to just not go to Waterfall Fairy. And for Illus, Dr. Earworm shouldn't go to Hammer Pegs or go into Pendant Turtle Rock. And Hammer Pegs is quite likely, in my opinion, for Dr. Earworm, but at this stage, I mean, going into Turtle Rock, if I was in Dr. Earworm's shoes, I would have wondered whether Illus would have made it into Turtle Rock already once I get my Cane of Samaria. So, you know, I think that's something possibly that Dr. Earworm would last locate. I really don't know on this. What are your thoughts?
It's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be tough, right? The other thing is that, like, where's that other sword gonna end up being? Because Illus isn't going to Back of Escape.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but again, I think that there are just too many obstacles in Doc's path at this point.
Yeah. So Illus, well, does complete his 6th crystal, flutes away. Where is Illus fluting to? Is fluting, well...
I'm gonna turn in the green pendant looking for the mirror. This makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, there is one item in Back of Escape. It's quite an easy thing, just answering chat. So Illus might check that, but nothing on Sahasrara. Green pendant turn in for Illus.
Oh, Illus is, we'll see if Illus is gonna do flipper checks first. Yes. So this is gonna be go mode for Illus here in just a couple seconds.
Yeah, definitely. Unless Illus just suddenly turns around. Illus will be getting the mirror in 3, 2, 1. And that's the mirror for Illus, and that is go mode.
Yeah, 1 hour, 15 minutes, 50 some odd seconds. That's go mode for Illus. And he is a go mode swamp away from GT.
Yeah, exactly. So, Dr. Earworm is facing off against Argus now. Using the hook shot and, the tempered sword. On the last phase, 1 silver arrow, and Argus is down.
Well, 2 silver arrows.
Yeah. And that is Dr. Earworm's 2nd crystal.
His 6th crystal. Don't shortchange the man.
I thought
He's been playing this whole time.
I thought I said 6th.
You said 2nd, my man.
I thought 6th, and I said 7. Okay, Illus is going into Swamp Palace.
Yeah, and so is Doc. Unfortunately, Doc can be clearing out the. I think there are 2 or 3 items here, so yeah.
Yeah. And chat saying 2nd to last crystal. Thank you, chat. You're saving me here. Thank you, chat. I love all of chat right now. Thank you. Boy.
Was LJ a sword? It was a green 20, but Doc had a bunch of hearts at that point, so.
I mean, can you use a ruby as a sword? I'd assume not in this game, though. Yeah, so Illus is now go-moding Swamp. we'll soon be defeating Argus, and then we'll play another game. Do you know what game this is, Tyler Salt?
I sure do.
Well,
Start thinking of some numbers. We're not starting this until Illus catches that crystal, though. Can't get ahead of ourselves.
I mean, I might get ahead of myself if it's Turtle Rock, but any other dungeon, no.
Sure, on that one, yeah, we got time.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of numbers. I mean, could I go for imaginary numbers?
I mean, you can guess whatever numbers you want, but only ones between 1 and 22 will give you a chance of winning. So, but you know, you do you, buddy.
I can't go for negative numbers.
I mean, once again, you can. It just won't work. That's all.
We need seeds for this to work, okay?
Yeah. Integers between 1 and 22, smartasses. All of you.
So, Illus is now defeating the first phase of Argus. Getting a few hits in from Argus here. doctorearworm is going to be checking Pyramid Fairy. So we'll see if this is the fourth sword. Otherwise, there can't really be anything on Pyramid Fairy.
And, yeah. Get your, put a number between 1 and 22 in chat. Let's see if we can figure out where the big key, the Gans Tower big key is going to be. You know, if it, based on what you guess, if Illus opens the, gets the big key at that check in the basement, then you will win a prize of some sort. My usual guess is 9.
I'm not going for my usual guess because, again, trying with non-integers here, I'm just going to round it and call pi 3, which is what some people do.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll go for 3 this time.
You can also gamble some sweet channel points on there, even or odd.
Ooh. Yeah, I think I'll save my channel points this time. I'm not feeling too strongly about this. doctorearworm is going to be checking Checkerboard Cave right now, just a piece of art.
And here's the Cane of Samaria for Doc. So he's finally back on the path here.
Yeah, still a TR away, though. Well,
Yeah.
a TR and a Misery Mile away.
Yeah, no, this is unfortunately too little too late.
I mean, I'm just trying to think what could help Doc in this situation.
A power failure for Illus.
I wouldn't wish that on.
No, I mean, but I wouldn't either, of course. But I mean, you asked, so
I did ask. So doctorearworm is going to be getting that Cane of Samaria right now. And that is GT being opened by Illus. Make sure you get your votes in now. If not, then it's too late right now.
Yep.
So, shall I go odds, you go evens?
Sure.
Okay, Illus goes down into, well, Torch, and that is 10 arrows, number 1.
Illus probably doing a Dark Magician strat here. I don't think Illus is enough of a memer to do a rando rush here. It's really unfortunate. Check number 2 is the single arrow.
Check number 3 is 10 arrows.
Oops, all arrows. Piece of heart for number 4.
And then there's a key for number 5, so Well,
Number 6 is the small key.
number 7 is 20 rupees. Illus being in Hope Room. Gonna go past floor tile room, most likely, and does so.
What's next? 8?
Yes, it should be. And chat asking, does Illus know Master Sword Silverlith?
Allison, please. That was not a serious question.
That was not a serious question. I mean, I didn't know.
Number 8's a blue boom.
Number 9's 20 rupees.
There goes my guess. 10 is a map.
And 11 is 300 rupees. I would assume that our runners would know Master Sword Silverless Ganon. I would assume that. So, now going to be Rando Room.
Oh, I get a couple checks there first, but...
Yeah, a couple checks before Rando Room.
This is number 12, the compass.
Yeah, Illus soon going to be on chest 13, going into the firebar room as Dr. Earworm is entering Turtle Rock. And that is 20 rupees, number 13. Illus going close to Rando Room right now.
Number 14 is 10 arrows.
Number 15 is 10 arrows.
16, 3 bombs.
17, 50 rupees. Well, it's Bob's chest. Oh,
Got
we
a-
get to see Almost Nights too.
We get a deep big key today.
Yeah. Chat is chatting about Fighter Sword Silverless. I thought that was impossible.
It is. They are trolling.
I see. So, Illus going to Bob's chest right now. And...
That's a small key. I don't remember what number it is. I'm not gonna
it's
lie.
number 18. Yeah, it's 18. And Illus defeating Amos on ice massively.
Yeah, it was a nice quick kill there.
19 vanilla big key, is it? 20 rupees.
But it is at 20.
And 21 has 5 rupees.
So GG's to even checkers. Number 20.
Yep, GG's.
I'm scrolling back up here. Goomba said 420, but that doesn't count.
Yeah, I believe and Unratu Tots got 20. So yeah, so well, congratulations.
You win 1,491 internet points, which is how many rupees Illus has.
Yeah. If we say rupees, do we have to like literally start spending our own bank balance and just buy some rupees?
No, I'll just go into the practice hack and farm them up.
Okay, good. Thank you, Tyler Salt. So yeah, Illus is now climbing up Ganon's tower, and this is just a show of skill at this point. facing off against those Stalfos and other enemies here. No damage whatsoever. Going into the second Stalfos room. Defeating those Stalfos. Going into conveyor belt room, defeating the enemies.
Ooh, that red Zazak not being nice here, and Illus tried to boomerang some arrows there. He is at 0. Not that it matters a great deal.
Yeah, getting some hits from those BMOs. I don't know all of the enemies in the Link to the Past, so they're called Zagzags?
Zazaks, Zazaks. And there's
Zazak.
go mode
Okay.
for Dr. Earworm at 129-ish.
Yeah. So, just Misery Maya and Ganon's Tower left for Dr. Earworm.
Oh no, just under the amount of magic that you need to use Bombos there, unfortunately, for Doc.
Yep. Illus defeating those Wizrobes with a Cane of Samaria shot, whilst Dr. Earworm opens up Misery Ma.
Yeah, so unfortunately, there were a couple things, just to give a little recap of this sea, there are a couple things that did not play in Doc's favor. Doc bailed on the back of Thieves Town when he was there, and so left a required boots on blind. And then just about last location, his Cane of Samaria in hammer pegs with required bombos on Laser Bridge of Pendant TR. So,
I mean,
unfortunately, that is how it ended up.
Boots were massively required this seed. They locked the hook shot, ether, and the flippers.
Yeah.
So it was just a bit unlucky for Dr. Earworm. And yeah, talking about Tempered. Tempered was the back of escape.
Yeah, there was one other sword out there. It might have been on LJ. We saw Doc check that, and it was a green 20, so it could have been there.
Yeah, true. And just a piece of heart from Moldorn too.
So Illus has got a Master Sword Silverless coming here.
Yep, definitely.
It's 52 total spins. There's the big key for Doc.
What does Ganon say again for the for
He'll say Light World.
Okay, so that's not gonna help at all.
No.
Illus won't be checking everything in the Light World for some silvers.
No, I expect that he won't.
Yeah. So Illus
that was a real slick double there.
Yep. I wasn't counting on that. Was it like 21021?
Something like that.
Yeah. Actually, one question would be, does Illus get a green potion or a blue potion from...
There is a 0% chance of that. There's no way that Illus goes and buys a potion right here. I will eat my hat.
Okay. He has bought some already. Okay. Yep. Illus getting into, I believe, the second phase of Ganon, using spin strats.
Doc is at least going to get into GT before Illus is done with this fight.
Yeah.
I think. Actually, it might be close. Yeah, really good phase 2 RNG there for Illus. That's doesn't quite get it there though. But this will do it. So this is going to be the end of phase 2, which is easily the most dangerous phase in a Master Sword Silverless fight.
Yeah, definitely. So Ganon in third phase. Not teleporting that many times this time. And saying, did you find the arrows in Light World?
An important torch glitch for Illus. And we spin to win. 24 spins in phase 4 with Master Sword. I believe Illus has a green potion. Nice warp RNG there.
Yeah. Illus does not appear phased by magic, so I'd assume so as well, given the lamp uses less magic than the fire rod shots that Illus is putting out. And that's Dr. Earworm opening up Ganon's tower.
Oh, it was a blue. Even better.
Yep. Illus getting a few more hits on Ganon. I haven't personally counted how many hits this is.
Yeah, I lost track, but we're getting to the end here. There it is. That's 24. Yep. Get your GGs in chat for Illus.
Yep. Definitely get your GGs ready in chat for Illus.
Illus is going to finish in first place in this race with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 36 minutes, 16 seconds. GG's to Illus, Dr. Earworm with the immediate forfeit, so get your GG's in chat for Doc as well.
Yep. So, yeah. Just always a good race to see, and we'll get the runners in shortly.
We are joined in the booth now by our runners, Illus, Dr. Earworm. GG's to both of you.
GG's.
GG.
So, Illus, we'll start with you. GG's, what do you think that was the key moment in the seat here for you?
No, definitely, like getting the boots and finding out how important they are. Oh yeah, I got boots. Let's check desert and whatnot, right? There were flippers in King's Tomb. Desert had the hook shot, and I could collect everything nicely because I decided to keep going in Thief's Stone. So yeah, that was kind of a key moment, knowing that Thief's Stone had paid off, like beyond the first 4.
Yeah, and then Doc, GG's my friend. Did you think about how hard did you think about going? Of course, you thought about going to the back of Thieves Town. Everybody does in that moment. How hard did you think about it?
Honestly, my first time through, I wasn't thinking about it at all because
really?
because I hadn't been to Pod and Eastern yet.
Yeah, and you were hoping for the mirror before going over there? Yeah.
Exactly. And in retrospect, right, like it makes this is my first main tournament, right? And I'm my goal is to learn as much as I can in every game. And in retrospect, right, that routing decision, you don't save as much time from being able to mirror from Pod to Eastern as you do in sort of having that like peace of mind and like rushing the crystals and like, oh, okay, I don't have much left besides Thieves Town. I should just go do all of it.
Just do all of it, right? Yeah. I think that people kind of over rely on the mirror to make their decision about Pod and Eastern a lot of the time, especially if you've got the flute. The real the real difference in time is just not that much.
So I'm dropping my pigeon logic emote in chat.
There it is.
Because yesterday, in my race yesterday, I could have, if I'd done things just a little bit differently, had the mirror before I went into Pod and been able to do it with Eastern. And so that was definitely in my mind today. Like, oh, just do 1 or 2 more things, see if I can be more efficient. And it was the wrong play. Because that leads me, because I went, and then I was so focused on, I have the mitts, I can do this other stuff. That I completely forgot to check hammer pegs when I was there.
Oh no, you forgot. Oof.
Yeah.
Speaking of forgetting, I kind of forgot about the back of Escape.
Yeah.
Rip your sword.
Yeah.
I wanted to check the lumberjack as well after I had boots, but I had the smith with me, and you wouldn't let me into it.
Yeah.
So I dodged my my swords like the dude in the Matrix dodged bullets.
Yeah.
What did both of you think of that early Aga? Because I noticed that you were both a little bit different in your execution on it. I mean, yeah, because I know you, Dr. Earworm, you didn't go into Eastern Palace the first.
Yeah.
Before doing Aga, you just decided to rush
Props.
it whilst you Illus did.
Props for making that call, by the way. I think that was a really nice play by you there.
I was, okay, so I just have a general tendency to overclear, right? I get stuck in the, mindset of, but what if it's there? And I'm, especially that's why in the race room when we rolled open hard again, I went, because what I really want is like 80 keys, right? Where I get rewarded for full clearing everything. But so I made a very specific decision, especially once I had the fire rod. I was like, okay, it's either a glove or a lamp in Eastern. If it's a lamp, then I save a million years by not double dipping it. Since I had the fire rod. If I hadn't had the fire rod, I absolutely would have gone and gotten the lamp first.
Oh yeah, of course. But having the fire rod at that point, I like when you know that it is, there's a pretty good chance it's just a lamp over there in Eastern. I like the play there for sure.
Yeah, definitely good call. For me, I was like, I don't know if it's the lamp or the glove. Better check it, and I might save time by getting the lamp. At least I might get a little bit of time back by getting the lamp and not getting lost in the dark rooms or whatever. So I figured it was not the worst time investment. But I can do Dark Aga with Fire Rod. Not without Fire Rod. I've never practiced it. Nobody does that.
No.
But it's just been. It felt like a bit of a risky call to make.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel disadvantaged or anything coming into this race.
Yeah.
So I figured I might just do the safe strat.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think Illus, didn't we get matched up in brackets in SpeedGaming Live 2021, I think? If I'm remembering correctly?
In brackets? I don't think so.
Maybe not. Anyway, I thought I remembered playing. I thought I remembered playing against you before and having this discussion about Aga, and so I was like, ooh, I think Illus is going to do all the safe stuff here. If it's the lamp in Eastern, maybe I save a little bit of time here. So there's a little bit of meta going on there too, but it might have been meta based on a conversation that didn't actually happen.
Maybe I think I remember SG Live. My first opponent was Ari. because my group stage went badly, so I had to play against the first seed.
No. Okay.
And
it might have been groups then. Yeah.
Then maybe it was groups. Yeah, I think we might have been in groups.
Yeah.
Just thinking about things, Illus, you had the Cane of Samaria from Hammer Pegs before going up the mountain, which gave you the possibility of TR. What was in your mind about going into TR? Because there was density in TR, but there were for checks available, I believe.
You mean my decision about me going into the mountain, thinking about possibly going TR?
Yes.
I would have been very committed. If after clearing almost the whole mountain there's nothing left, and I'm already up there, I'm definitely going into Turtle Rock. There was the possibility of maybe going to Ice Palace, but it's not that better, not like that much better of a check.
Yeah.
So I figured I might just go.
I was the same. If I was hoping to find Samaria in Hookshot Cave my first time on Dark Death Mountain, because I was going straight into TR if I found it. And so that's really, I think the boots hurt, all of that stuff hurts, but I think if I had done Hammer Pegs the first or second time I went into TR, or I sorry, this first or second time I came out of Thieves Town, this would have been a lot closer, because I was, there's so much density there, and it gave you all the stuff to get in. I was going to go straight there.
Illus, Tofile in chat wants to know why you turned in the Smith and didn't grab Ether before fluting to Meyer.
I forgot. I was like, after getting the Smith, I'm gonna get Ether, and then I flew to Meyer.
Yep.
And then I fluted to Meyer, and I was like, well, maybe it's not Ether. So and it wasn't. But then I decided, like afterwards, later, to go to the mountain, and then I was like, okay, if TR is Ether, I'll pick it up, and then I picked it up anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't, Meyer wasn't Ether, but in a way it was. It kind of was.
In a way it was, yeah.
Just another moment that I noticed. Just comparing you two, what were your thoughts when you got the mirror, Dr. Earworm? Because what we were seeing was that basically you got it before Illus did, although you were Cane of Samaria and Bombos down, whilst Illus had the Cane of Samaria and Bombos, I believe, but just didn't have the mirror. So
I suspected it was possible. I was very late to the mirror, although there wasn't a ton of early money, so there's not a lot of incentive to fake flipper to Zora. So I definitely suspected I was behind on that, but that wasn't the one that I felt bad about. Samaria was the one that I felt bad about. I didn't even feel that bad about the boots. I thought it was entirely possible we were, getting those around the same time. But I never have a, it's just, if I had not had Eastern and Pod available to me, I absolutely would have gone all the way through the back. But since I had two full clearable crystals, that made more sense.
Why I did the other way around. Like when I found the mids, it was like, oh, I have some weird ass checks that the mids have opened. It's not that much. Back of the Stone is just as good. Yeah. And as for the mirror, I actually felt good to find the mirror really, really late, because then I knew, like, if you possibly found the mirror early, you would have gone through all the garbage overworld checks, K45, whatever, Graveyard Ledge, full cleared Swamp Palace or something, right?
Right.
So, and that's why I went back to that place when I did, really, because I felt pretty decent about the way I found my progression, and then I figured might as well backpedal a bit and see if I missed the mirror somewhere in an easier location.
Mm-hmm.
And when I found it, I felt pretty good about how I routed the seed overall.
Yeah, not having a mirror can be annoying, but like being able to, if it's your go mode, right, that it's a nice thing, because it locks a bunch of really slow and
really terrible stuff.
Yeah. So if you're gonna find it late, you want to find it last.
What was your go mode, Illus?
Mirror.
Okay, yeah, much better. Okay, yeah, mine was Bombos. I
didn't calculate it myself, but I believe chat and you, Tyler Salt, noticed as well that the flute itself was glove locked.
Yeah, it ended
because of
up. Yeah, the flute was out of logic when you guys got it because the
Right.
glove was
the
both
small
gloves
key
were in
was
the
in the
dark
back.
world and the
Yeah.
small key was in the
Yep.
back.
Yep.
Mm.
That didn't even occur to me. So there's some more time waste I spent going up the mountain.
Well, no, because like I mean, both of you did that first of all, so I think it's important to keep that
Right.
in your head, but I think it did mean that regardless of whether the lamp or the glove was in Eastern, right? That had some implications for whether Aga was going to be required, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any final words from either of our runners here?
I'm happy I kept it as close as I did. Like I said, it's my first main tournament, and I've gone against the first and second quartile runners now, and was at least in Ganon's Tower when I lost both times. I was significantly closer against Tick yesterday, but still pretty close. I'm glad I was able to. I feel a lot better about. Weirdly, even though I lost by a lot more this time, I feel much better about this one than I do about yesterday's. So. And I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yep, we still have a bit of groups going on, and GG to you again, Doc. It was fun. I hope I'll find my swords better next time. That Master Sword Ganon took forever, and my GT was also like.
Well, I appreciate you not finding swords so that I could be in GT by the time you finish.
But yeah. I'll be up against Ignaldo tomorrow. It's gonna be fun, and
nice.
We'll see how that goes.
That's awesome. There is a whole mess of Link to the Past on SpeedGaming family of channels here today, starting in just under 10 minutes. Over on SpeedGaming 3 is Tam versus Dreeky, which should be a great match. That should be fun. I'm not sure if Shinmaru and Tusi are still going on over on SpeedGaming Prime or if that race is over. We got Hydropower versus P-Train at 8:10 p.m. Eastern on SpeedGaming Prime. Koi and Deep Fried on SpeedGaming 2 at 9 p.m. Eastern. Gilgamesh and GFE at 10 p.m. Eastern. Just absolutely chock full of rando action today on the SpeedGaming family of networks.
Yeah.
And GG's. Goron, a pleasure today.
Yep, GG's to you, Tyler. Thank you for co-commentating with me, and yeah, thanks, runners, for just this was fun to watch, and it's always nice to see you too. And thanks to our tracker.
Thanks to all the crew.
Thanks to Solid, our tracker.
Well.
GG's once again to Illus and Doc. Good luck in your next races. My name is Tyler Salt. Thank you for joining us here on SpeedGaming. We're going to figure out where to send you next. But in the meantime, stay safe out there and have a good time. And goodbye. I should figure out a better exit phrase. I have an entrance phrase for these, but don't have an exit phrase. So have fun, chat. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.